Sandra, I know your story. I think it would be lovely if you can just share about yourself. Tell us a bit about yourself for those who are watching.
I absolutely love working for PaySpace. The business is built on tech. It's a tech company. And for me, that's been in the tech industry my entire life.
At PaySpace, you've spearheaded some phenomenal growth. What would you say is your key to success, so to speak?
I think to actually give the colleagues that work with you a very good vision that they can aspire to, and to help them build, I almost want to say, the behaviors that you want, so that they truly believe in your vision and your mission. So we've got goals, we've got measurables, and we celebrate our successes. Part and parcel of building a phenomenal company is a great culture. To retain the best colleagues in the business, for me, output is extremely important. And what I find is whatever you measure will improve. We measure a lot of things in PaySpace to make sure we do the right things. One example I can mention, for instance, is NPS, where we measure how happy our customers are. We measure what we do well, what we don't do well. And of course, if we don't do something well, we improve immediately.
I think you have a very interesting culture at PaySpace, and you're actually living the tech that you're actually selling, because I know you have a remote working environment and you've got some innovative ideals like limitless leave and so on. How is that working?
As an innovative company, we always try and push the boundaries. And one of the things I wanted to do with limitless leave was to show colleagues that I trust them, that we are an output-based business, that you can honestly, if you put in the hours, you can also spend time with family, friends to get your energy. And for me, I find that my best ideas I get when I'm not at work, so I want to encourage colleagues to take us to make use of limitless leave. But I think it's extremely important to always realize that you're working with individuals and people. And if you keep your employees extremely happy, they will treat your customers like gold.
Tell us the PaySpace story. Tell us about the company, its growth story. What is its value proposition? What makes it different from other companies that are offering the same?
When I joined PaySpace, I was absolutely astounded by the story I heard. So, three brothers and one of their very good mates, already in the year 2000, when most software companies were still worrying about catering for the year 2000, these guys had a vision to build a global payroll product using cloud technology and native cloud. So it was a product that was born in the cloud. If I tell you, very, very few businesses thought about cloud then. In actual fact, in 2006-07, it became sort of word on the street. So they were way ahead of their time. And when the product was launched, the idea was always to build a product that you can globally scale. When they launched in South Africa, just to give you an idea, it took them from 2011 to 2019 to go into 43 countries across Africa.
Wow.
To actually execute on that, you cannot have developers developing each country. What you have to do is you have to build tool sets that allow senior business analysts to actually be able to build in compliance, regulations, legislation, etc. It's been a phenomenal success, and I'm really privileged to be part of it. And I think my experience in the payroll industry gave me the opportunity to really speak with so much conviction, because I could see this product was going to change the way businesses do business. If you look at a technology stack that has single instance, so there's one version of the product, multi-tenanted, which means every single customer uses the same application, almost like a Facebook, It means that if I change the medical aid tables once, every single customer has got the new medical aid tables. If I change the Ghana tax tables once, every single customer has got the new Ghana tax table. You don't have to actually load updates. If you're a UK-based company and you want your reports in the UK in pounds, in South Africa in rands, and your branch in Kenya in shillings, you're able to do that without any customization. So it's really empowering our customers. We've got a phenomenal team of support managers that look after approximately 40 consultants. What they do really well is we've got excellent software in the back end to actually manage the calls as they come in and our tickets. We then measure it by sending out regular, what we refer to as surveys, and it's a net promoter score, which is a very strict way of measuring whether customers like you or whether they don't. In the last year, our net promoter score for support was 94.
How has the journey been like, and what are you seeing?
When we started rolling out 43 countries, it was mainly for multinationals based in South Africa that had colleagues or employees in additional countries across Africa.
Yeah.
We've got, I would say, in the region of at least 4,500 companies across Africa using our application.
Wow.
In some cases, it's very small companies, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9 employees. In some companies, 2,000-3,000. For businesses in Kenya, they want to actually accelerate their businesses, and they find that cloud technology makes it much more easy for them to actually stay on top of their business. So if you look at customers that talk about what changed after they implemented PaySpace, it's mostly, I saved from 5 processing days, I'm now processing 2 days a month. And I think what we want to do is we really want to empower Africa to look after themselves, to build skills in Africa, and to really help them build businesses. We're proud to support the CFO community because it's such a worthy cause to bring together CFOs that are facing the same problems. Payroll is 9 times out of 10 your biggest expense. So if you look after the leave of your payroll and you manage the leave days accurately, you will find that you save on cost. And that's close to the heart of any CFO, you know, making sure you don't spend unnecessary, or you don't neglect, or there's not cash that just vanishes because people take leave as they see fit. Of course, the technology means that you can scale it to phones. Kenya people are extremely happy working off 2 to 3 phones at the same time. What we've done is the product is completely device agnostic. So if you're a colleague or you work for a business in Kenya, I can get my payslip on WhatsApp. We recently gave our Lite product a bit of a facelift, and the reason why we did that was specifically to remove the complexity of screens that small businesses would never use, or startup business. So the product as it is today has got really only the requirements for a small business, and the beauty for small companies is if I only pay 2 employees, I'm going to only pay for 2 employees because the product is completely pay as you go.
What other things are you doing at PaySpace to make sure that you're ahead of the game in terms of innovating in the HR and
The first thing we do very well is we talk to our customers, because most of the innovation comes from people that actually work on the product. We often find customers give us excellent ideas. However, we are also fortunate that our shareholders are I almost want to say born and bred with technology. They love it. It's their absolute passion. And when your development department is the biggest in the business, so we employ about 270 employees, of which a good 90 works in development. They are extremely innovative in terms of looking at new tools, making use of new innovative tools to actually build the software and innovate on an ongoing basis. We don't need to rewrite the product from A to Z. We can actually build something like a table builder and we can release it next week. Customers start using it, there's slow traction, we tweak it, and in 6 months or year's time, we find out most companies are using the table builder. So
without disrupting what they're
doing. So the idea of not building features, but rather building tool sets is really what makes PaySpace great. It was a foreign concept to me because I came from an industry where we always would build another feature. And now I realize if you build features, you can't scale. You can only scale if you build tools. What is the most important thing at PaySpace? Technology. What we've really built well is a very strong compliance team with a methodology that works extremely well. We work with customers. Often the customer on the ground in Kenya is the first one to know that legislation was published yesterday. So the research team will effectively gather all the legislation. They will then pass it on as soon as it's fully understood to our business analyst. They will then make sure it's interpreted in terms of how do we facilitate this in the product. And then we've got a QA team that will test that everything works well. We also make sure that it's very easy to find legislation. It can be overwhelming if you pay colleagues in different countries. So within the product, we've got first and foremost what we refer to as a knowledge base, where you can find articles with interpretations. There's also the actual legislation. Then we've got what we refer to as infographics, which is I almost want to say a fun way of explaining tax. So when people talk about the future of cloud, we go, no, there is no such thing. Cloud is now. The future is not cloud in terms of payroll. It's now, it's here, you can use it, your business can benefit, and you will future-proof your organization by doing it. We use AI to analyze all our support tickets. And what we do is from AI, by using that, the tool can pick up the words customers use, whether they are happy, whether it's a good experience, whether they are upset, and we don't have to then manually listen into those calls, which is what we did in the past.